This podcast is called My First Million. So if someone is trying to go from $0 to $1 million, these are the tools that I'm using to make $1 million.
I feel like I can rule the world. I know I could be what I want to. I put my all in it like no days off on the road.
So today what I want to talk about is I want to show 5 or 6 different apps that I'm using, Sam, that I think you should be using. And we can just go through it, that are underrated, hidden gems that you probably never heard of that will make you more productive and make you more money.
And the reason why this is fun is because a lot of people in the audience are like me, which is they're like, I'm a really good Googler. That's the extent of how good I am on computers. I'm pretty good at ChatGPT, but you are like 3 steps above me in terms of being technical. And then there's like people that are like 10 steps above that. But you're kind of a good balance of someone who's like on the outer edge, being an early adopter, but also you can relate this to kind of like a Neanderthal like me.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm just going to try to clearly explain as much as possible. And I tried to pick examples of apps that literally anyone could use that is going to make like a big difference in their lives. By the way, I know people are going to listen to this. Some people are going to be like, because there's a lot of AI haters out there, Sam.
Why?
Why? Because they see stuff like this, which I will show you, a AI generated Taylor Swift. And they're like, you are ruining the world.
Okay.
But this is where technology is going, and this episode is for people who want to use it to their advantage, and so that's what we're here for.
All right, Greg, fire me up. What do we got? How am I going to look like T Swift?
All right, you want to start with that?
Friends, listen, what you're seeing right now is crazy.
We are crossing a line in human history where the boundary between reality and fiction is vanishing.
And this is not Hollywood billion-dollar high production studio. This is open source. This is from your computer, a click of a button, and most people will not be able to even tell the difference now. So be safe out there, question what you see, verify what you believe, and follow who will stay ahead of the curve. This is Arie.
Sounds just like Taylor, and it looks pretty much just like Taylor. And I think the coolest thing about it is look at her mouse movement. Looks exactly like this guy on the top, my friend Sirio. And you can do this not with just Taylor Swift. You can do this with like Mark Zuckerberg. You can do this with Jensen Huang, like anyone you want. You can kind of like deep fake.
Dude, but it looks like she looks... Taylor Swift, I think, is a pretty woman. This is a very, she's got a stronger jawline than normal in this one. So it doesn't look exactly like her. You know what's interesting? So I think that you should do like a use case for each of these. Do you want to hear a crazy use case I learned for one of these? I had someone I knew who, they're a wealthy person, and someone discovered that they were out of town. And a person used one of these deep fakes to call the building to say that a handyman will be coming. Please let them up into their apartment. And it was a criminal, and they like robbed their apartment. And so these deep fakes are very nerve-wracking for these reasons.
Yeah, and there is a dark side to it for sure. And bad stuff is going to happen, and we need to be aware of it. I'm especially concerned about like grandmas and parents getting like scammed. But
dude, I've almost been scammed. Like I get almost scammed weekly. So it's not just grandmas. What's the service? What's the app that makes these videos?
So this is using a open source model called WAN 2.2. It's by the Alibaba people. So it is a Chinese app.
Yeah.
So beware. For a lot of people, using open source technology is kind of difficult. So there are apps like Enhancer.ai that allows you just to use their SaaS platform. So you can just pick it and you don't need to like look at a GitHub. Or there's another one called FreePick, which does the same thing. So, I think it's worth people playing around with WAN 2.2. This is the So basically you record a video of yourself talking, and you can basically pick a character that, you're right. It doesn't look like Taylor Swift exactly. It's more like a Tyler Swift.
Yeah.
So if you wanted Tyler Swift, or Matt Zuckerberg, it's fun to play around with it and use it as content for your brand, or just having fun, like your personal brand as well.
That's cool. When do you think this is going to be good enough for me to use like in ads or things like that?
I mean, it's 100% good enough to use in ads. Wow. Now, I wouldn't use, Taylor Swift
Yeah, of
in an
course.
ad because you might not get approved by Meta. But people are using JFK and Play-Doh and things that are in the public domain that you could use create ads for, and it's working.
So I can go to Enhancer.ai, which I'm here, and I can film like a funny script of what I think JFK would say to promote MFM or something like that. And I can actually use that in an ad because JFK is considered public domain.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but from my understanding, yes. There's this guy by the name of PJ Ace. I just had him on my podcast. He's amazing. He's like the #1 AI video ad guy, and he's literally getting hundreds of millions of views on his AI videos. And I've seen him, like, he'll work with like, the largest companies on the planet. And so he's using, look at this, like he's using Sam Altman here.
So, wow. Is there a way that, what would be the best way? I'm looking at this PJA's guy and I'm like, this sounds awesome. I want to use this immediately. What would be the best way for me to do that?
So first you need to write a script. And what I would do is I would use ChatGPT, use Claude to come up with a script idea. And we won't have time to go through a tutorial of that today, but then I would create reference frames. So I would use one of the image models like Enhancer or like FreePic, which maybe we can go into later, to create images of what the storyboard of the 20-second or 30-second ad might look like.
Oh my gosh.
And then I would animate those frames to create a cohesive story. That's basically the process. You use ChatGPT, Claude, you use Enhancer and FreePic, and then you use, you might want to, if you're pro, you might want to use like a Final Cut Pro or something like that.
Wow.
To get, yeah.
Okay, this is awesome. What's the next one?
Have you played with Perplexity browser at all?
No, I actually used Perplexity the other day because I watched one of your videos on how to use Sora. And I saw that you say that Perplexity is good for researching. And I forget exactly what you said in the video, but I use it to research, I think, how to make a viral video or something like that. And then I put that into Claude, and then I got the script from Claude, and then I put it in Sora. Is that right?
Yeah. So it's a hassle to move browsers. Like, everyone has everything set up on their current browser. Maybe they're using Google Chrome. But having an AI first browser is an absolute game changer. There's Perplexity, Comet, there's Dia, there's Opera, there's a few others. But for today's example, we're going to use Comet because that's which one I think is the best. And I just want to go through a few workflows so by the end of this demo, I think that everyone is going to be like, yeah, I need an AI browser.
So do you use, let me clarify, do you use Perplexity, Comet instead of Chrome?
Yes.
Okay, so this is not a cool thing. This is ROI, this works. Okay.
Oh, and I can't go back. Like, going back would, like, my eyes would bleed. It is too slow to go back. Once you get used to an AI browser, you will not go back. Just like now you use ChatGPT over Google probably 95% of the time.
Yeah.
So I saw this ad for this company called OneBone, which is a clothing brand for big and tall people. I'm actually not big. I'm pretty tall. I'm like 6'3". So I'm 165 pounds. So I'm actually not that big, but I clicked on it anyways, and I thought that it looked pretty cool. And so, let's just say I'm 6'3". I'm going to add this to cart. I always get to this. I don't know if this is just me, Sam, but I always get to this point where it's the discount code, and I'm like, okay, there must be a discount code I could use here. And that there was a scam. It was like a scam basically with Honey, right? Where they acknowledge, or someone did like a CoffeeZilla type video where they said Honey is like getting a referral affiliate fee on on your data and on your products, right?
Yeah, I saw that. That was about 6 months ago.
Yeah, exactly. It went viral. So here's an example of how I would use Comet. So I would say, I want to use a discount code.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know any. Can you find one and only find one that works and add it to this forum?
Oh my gosh, this is awesome.
So what's cool about Comet is it sees what's on your screen, and you can see on the right-hand side, it's looking and it's searching through, in this case, 10 different sources, and it'll hopefully work. And if it doesn't, you can keep just prompting it to get it to work, right? So look, Thrift 10, it found one, saved $66 on my 2 jackets. And
Greg, have you ever heard of girl math? Is that what it's called, Arie? Have you heard of girl math? I think this is an example of girl math. You've just made $60 shopping.
It's basically free.
It's basically, you just got paid $66.
I bought a jacket for 350-pound men, and I'm 165 pounds, but it's free.
That's awesome. This is girl math. I love this. That's cool. Hey, everyone, really quick. I can already tell that this is an episode that you guys are going to be taking a lot of notes on. And that's kind of a pain in the butt to do while you're either watching or listening to this. And so we actually made it really easy. We made the entire episode into a downloadable PDF. And this way you could just sit back and enjoy the podcast right now and get the notes later. So the link is in the description below. Click it if you want those notes. Now back to the episode.
So the next thing that I've been using Comet for has been finding exact moments in YouTube videos. So I'll say something like, so I'll open up Assistant on the right-hand side, find and play the exact moment Steve Jobs talks about Apple's intersection of liberal arts and technology. And then Comet's agents go and figure out where that is.
Wow.
And it basically downloads the transcript and it searches it. And look how fast it is.
Dude, because
right?
I do that all the time. Like, if I'm doing copywriting, I'm like, oh, I remembered a good hook. I once watched this video of Steve Jobs, and he made this like kind of small, offhanded comment, but I don't remember. Like, it was at a graduation talk, but I don't remember which one. And this would save so much time by being able to like just ask it to find it.
It saves a lot of time, and also you're in you're in flow state. So if you wanted to do this on Chrome or another browser, you'd have to open up another tab. You'd have to like Google it. You'd have to find it. You have to watch. Like it pulls you out of your zone. How am I able to run 5 companies that are successful? Is because I have a lot of tricks like this that help me save time. So it says here the quote begins at the 7-second mark. You can actually tell I think if I say play this video, it should actually play the video. Yeah, see, it opened up a new tab, and you can't hear this, but it's literally playing it.
That's crazy.
And then you can go back to Assistant, and you can say, this is a cool talk. I'm a founder. What are the most interesting takeaways for me? Write it in an essay. And I find that YouTube is just such a wealth of information, like literally everything. There's so much there. All of our world leaders are on it. The biggest founders on the planet, podcasts. Learning from YouTube is so amazing. And I just find myself just going to videos like this and seeing like, look how amazing this is.
I wish I would have known about this. I actually just installed the Chrome plugin that gets the transcript from YouTube. And it does it a little bit better than the normal YouTube transcript button. And I did it so I could copy and paste it just to put it into ChatGPT to ask it these questions.
Yeah, this is going to make your life a lot easier. You're going to be way smarter from this. Not that you need to be smarter. You're a smart guy, Sam, but we'll take any edge we can get.
I'm a few brain cells away from just being a talking monkey, my friend. I could use anything I can get. Okay. So Perplexity Comet, that's awesome. I like that.
I'll do one last one with Perplexity Comet, and then we can move on. So you can ask it, one of the hardest things I have to do as a founder is trying to hire good talent, right? So you can say, find and go to the LinkedIn profile of someone who worked on Apple AI and now at Meta. So
wow.
It'll actually go and do that.
Is this free?
It's free. It just came out like a few days ago for free for everyone.
Wow.
And I have no relationship to Perplexity, by the way. I'm just like, I'm a happy, it makes my life better, right? So I'm happy to talk about it.
I pay, I think $200 a month for LinkedIn Recruiter.
Oh yeah.
And this just kind of like LinkedIn Recruiter has value, but this just would have helped as well, and maybe in lieu of and for free.
Well, watch this. So we got this answer. The LinkedIn profile of Mark Lee matches your criteria. He worked on Apple AI as a research engineer and is now an AI research scientist at Meta. So let's say, Sam, that you wanted to hire him for Hampton.
It would only cost $100 million.
It would only cost between $100 million and $500 million. But what you can do is say, can you craft an email?
Oh my gosh.
That is going to get this guy to work for me. I'm the CEO of Hampton. What's the URL?
Joinhampton.com.
Joinhampton.com.
Yeah, it's just gonna say like, "Good luck, buddy." Get in line, pal.
I hope this message finds you well. My name is, your name. I'm the CEO of Join Hampton. We're assembling an elite, and it's not bad. And you can kind of like craft it to make it your own, right? But what's really cool about this is, okay, cool.
Yeah.
This looks great. My name is Sam Parr. Can you send this email for me on my Gmail?
Oh my gosh.
So what it'll do is it'll basically create an agent that will send this email for you. So you can actually connect your Gmail.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it right now because, I'm not Sam Parr and I'm not trying to spend $100 million hiring this guy. But you can actually connect your Gmail and start sending emails.
Man, this is just so nutty. And this is, a lot of people watching this will mock me here and make fun of me. But for the real nerds, like I use Wispr. Is it called Wispr Flow?
Yes, Wispr Flow.
So I'm actually I actually talk to my computer a lot. And I have it set up to where like the little globe button on the bottom left hand of my screen, I just hold that button and I have a conversation with it and it types it for me because I hate typing. Like literally my fingers hurt sometimes. And so I just have conversations with my computer. And if I could do that now in Perplexity's Comet, that would make life way better.
Yeah. So speaking to computers, like how you're doing with Wispr Flow, which is another underrated AI tool, once you do it, you can't go back.
Yeah.
Like here you can see like a keyboard, you can only get to 45 words per minute. Flow, you get to 220 words per minute. It's too slow to go back to a keyboard after.
So for those listening, you have to check out Wispr Flow, and I think it's called Wispr. It's actually shockingly hard to find if you Google it because they spell Whisper in a startup-y way. I think it's like WISPER. And so the way it works is I have it set up. I have a hotkey where I just click this one button, I talk to it. But sometimes I'll make a mistake and I'll say, oh, whoops, I mean this. So can you pick me up a burger? I mean, I actually want a taco. Like if I'm texting my wife, like it will not say the first thing and instead will say the second thing. Or I'll say, so my opinion on that is broken down into 3 points. Point 1 is this. Point 2 is this. Point 3 is this. It formats it where it says, my opinion is this. Number 1, this. Paragraph number 2, this.
100%. Also, I think that people could use Wispr Flow for Teams. I think that's an underrated kind of hack. Using the snippet library that they have, you can create these snippets like here, calendar, hours, support intro, FAQ, so that you can just say calendar or say hours and it'll just throw it in there.
Oh my gosh.
I love Wispr Flow. To me, it's the same level up in productivity that you're going to see if you're moving from Chrome to an AI browser.
Wow.
Like, what are you more interested in talking about, AI Excel or content automation on TikTok, getting followers on TikTok?
I don't like TikTok, but I do want to know how to get followers. But I want to know more so the Excel thing because I've been trying to find a replacement for. Like I wanted to talk to Google Sheets. I actually use Google Sheets. I don't use Excel. But I think I saw that one company got funded like 12 months ago. But I went and demoed it and it was only fine. And so I haven't found a good solution for this.
So yeah, if you're anything like me, you hate Excel. Like the idea, I don't even know what a macro is, honestly.
So, yeah, I don't know what that word means, but I hear people say it all the time.
Like to me, an Excel sheet is almost like terminal. Like when I'm in the terminal, I'm like overwhelmed. So I try to avoid going in Excel as much as possible, but there's this thing called tryshortcut.ai. It's from this research lab of like ballers, like some of the best researchers on the planet created it. And their first product is to create an AI first version of Excel. And it's similar to actually Comet in the sense that, on the left, it sees your screen, which is like a cloud version of Excel. And on the right-hand side, you have prompts. And you can just use natural language to tell it what to do. And it works. For example, literally 1 minute before this call, I actually used Comet to I was like, hey, find me a sheet of financial data that I can upload to Try Shortcut. I uploaded it to Try Shortcut. As you can see, it's this list of company, how much market cap they have, how much revenue they have, how much gross profit they had. I said, analyze my data for key insights. It gives me all the key insights. Now, if I wanted to say, hey, build me a DCF analysis, or build me an income statement, or explain me this, or explain me that, you can do it, and it works.
Can you ask it a question right now? Ask it,
Sure.
which stock would Warren Buffett pick based off of this data? The reason I'm asking is this: I actually bought a book called like Warren Buffett on Accounting or something like that, or Warren Buffett on Balance Sheets when I was trying to learn accounting. And because I was trying to figure out, what does he see? What sticks out to him? But the book was really hard to read. These are complicated concepts. This might just do it for me.
Yeah. And it has this data that is on screen, but it's also looking, it's sending agents all across the internet to figure out what is happening. And so the beauty of this context plus that context, you end up getting really good outcomes. And then you can also say, Warren Buffett's pick is Apple. So we're getting some data here. But you can also, now that it's giving this data, you can actually say, like, create a new document based on this that shows like the operating cash flow.
Yeah. Wow.
This is a big deal. I just saw that they have this now, which is an Excel plugin. So even if you don't want to use their cloud-based solution, you can just basically look, it only has 36 ratings. This is how early you are to this.
I want to read number 37. That's great.
Today's episode is brought to you by HubSpot. Being a know-it-all used to be considered a bad thing, but in business, knowing it all, it's everything. Because right now, businesses are only using about 20% of their data unless you have HubSpot. That's where they take data that's buried in emails and call logs and meeting notes. They become insights that help you grow your business, because when you know more, you grow more. You see, being a know-it-all isn't so bad after all. Visit HubSpot.com to learn more today.
Are you, usually what I've done is I have uploaded my financials, like either my P&L, my business's P&L, or sometimes even like my personal income statement or my personal net worth, and I will ask ChatGPT questions based off that data. Would you feel comfortable doing that here on Comet? Not comfortable, because it's not any revealing information. It's just numbers. It's not like a social security number or anything like that. But would you feel like it would give you good advice?
Yeah, I mean, I would feel comfortable. I think I would feel more comfortable though just doing it locally on Excel, so you're not uploading your data to the cloud, because who knows what could happen. So I if it's really sensitive data, I do recommend just using Excel. Like, why not? You don't need to have it on the cloud, right? Most people use Excel, but look what you can do here. Like, you can. It's not even just querying, because on ChatGPT, you can query the data and be like, what would you do here? What would you do there? But you can't say, if, build LBO models or DCF analysis or pro forma statements. Like, this is stuff, this is basically a financial analyst in a box that you can use, and it's pretty cheap.
Wow. This is magical. And this is free?
You get like a certain amount of credits for free. It's not that many credits. I think it's
this is great.
Yeah.
That's cool. That might be number 2 and Comet might be number 1, but it'd be close so far.
Yeah. I knew you'd like that one. You're probably going to hate this one, but I'm telling it to you anyways.
Okay.
And the reason I'm telling it to you is just because there's an arbitrage moment where I'm sure you've probably seen these slideshows on TikTok where...
I actually don't use TikTok, but maybe you can convince me, but I think that like this AI content is just garbage. Like, I'm a purist. I want like Mr. Beast.
I bet you people, I bet you have like favorited, shared, liked AI content, but you just haven't realized
Dude, I did
it.
the other day. There was one where a guy made a fake potato launcher and he shot it at a grandma. And it was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. Or like, did you see like Stephen Hawking?
Yes, on a vert ramp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. So yeah, I guess I'm kind of being convinced in real time here. I think you guys like this podcast for two reasons. One is if you are building a business, it's lonely. And listening to Shaan and I, we're sort of like your friends. And the second reason is you know that we are builders. We love building companies. It's kind of our life's vocation. So if you have a business that does at least $3 million in revenue, I think I know exactly what you're experiencing. You've built a great business, it's working, and you finally have a second to look up. You're young, you probably run an internet company. In your town, there's a potential that you're a freak, that you have no one else to talk to about growing your company. In fact, when you even go out in public, you probably don't even like telling people what you do for a living because you don't feel like explaining it. If you fall in this category, that means you're making the biggest decisions of your life, $10, $20 million decisions, all by yourself, alone. And without that push, in my opinion, the risk is not blowing up. It's drifting into good enough territory, into becoming mediocre. And the worst thing that can happen to you is 10 years from now, you look back and you realize, I missed this amazing opportunity. I didn't grow, I plateaued in life and in business. My company, Hampton, we changed that. If you're running a company that does at least $3 million in revenue, you can apply at joinhampton.com. We vet you, we curate you, and we give you 8 hand-picked founders who have similar businesses, similar sizes as you, who will challenge you, who will hold you accountable, and who will give you perspectives that you cannot get anywhere else. And this all happens in real life. So check it out, joinhampton.com/network.
Yeah, and I think a lot of these types, what I'm showing here, these TikToks are like 6 mistakes we made during pool planning and how to avoid them. You would never think that that's actually AI that created it.
No,
Yeah.
that looks real.
That looks real.
Okay, so how do I fake the world?
Here's what I'll say. I'll say that, a lot of people are vibe coding software right now. But the hardest problem is, how do you get customers to that software? Well, one way is to own a bunch of accounts, like on TikTok, that you can send traffic to. So I believe that there's an arbitrage right now to use AI to create these accounts, basically like meme accounts, and then sell your software through them. So there's a piece of software called Reel.Farm. This thing must do like 10K a month MRR or less. It's like not many people know about it, but it's a way to automate TikToks to drive traffic to your website.
Just TikTok, not Instagram?
Just TikTok. I mean, you probably could upload it to Instagram, but from what I've seen, it does TikTok the best. How it works is you can source images from, let's say, Pinterest. So Pinterest has tons of images. Let's say you want to do a slideshow that says top 8 protein sources ranked by bioavailability and cost. So you add a prompt and generate a slideshow. You can see the slideshow over here.
That's crazy.
These images, and it's super clean. And the cool thing is that TikTok is promoting slideshows right now. And then you can just schedule and publish it. So within like 30 seconds, you have a piece of content in your niche that you can just schedule.
Wow. Man, I have a friend that created an app. He's a man that helps men do Kegel exercises, which basically makes it so you don't premature ejaculate during sex. And I was like, man, this is neat and all, but this is real hard to promote. Like, I wouldn't want to brag. I don't feel comfortable bragging about using this app. And when you go to Reel.Farm, I see Reel.Farm, what is their URL? Reel.Farm.
Reel.Farm.
Like, I see the companies who use it, and I'm like, I see A16Z and I see Substack, and I'm like, really? You guys use this?
Yeah, I don't know if they use it, but I do know that if you want to fight for customers right now and you want audiences, slideshows and TikTok slideshows is a great way to do it. And then, why pay an agency thousands of dollars a month when you can just use a product like this?
You want to know something funny? Do you know who Stephen Bartlett is?
I do.
Stephen used to work for Shaan. He was like Shaan's intern or something like that. And then he left to start his first business. And apparently, Shaan tells a story, but it's public, which is like he had a whole bunch of like Twitter or Instagram handles. It was like things teens say about Georgia or art history, where they just like told stories about art history, and he would get all of them popular, and then you would spend money with him. You would buy an ad, and he would have his meme accounts tweet out or Instagram out your product, and then like within 10 minutes it would go viral or something, or it would be highly ranked in the App Store. This is kind of like in the same vein, and you know, I'm teasing and making fun of it, but I'm on Reel.Farm. Some of the, like, he's got this one where he uses like old art to make like these slideshows. I am such a, like, I watch those all the time. Like if it's something like, you know, the top 10 like strangest like missing person cases, like I watch all of them.
Totally. So that's what I'm saying. Like we've watched this. Like there's some way to do AI slop that just like is cringe and looks bad, but some of these like slideshows, and he also has like a UGC ad avatar feature on Reel.Farm that I think is pretty interesting.
What's that called? Reel, the same website?
It's the same website, but they basically have a way that you select a template. Let's say of this person, this sleepy looking guy over here in the hoodie, and you're like, okay, I want to create an ad, and then you come up with the hook. You know, you can use like ChatGPT or Claude to come up with the hook, or you can, you know, actually be creative yourself. And you can say like my top 3 matcha brands. You choose the background music, and then it creates using AI.
That's crazy.
Like that looks real.
That looks real.
That looks real. This looks real.
So this guy is fake?
He's a fake guy. You create the product video. You can use AI to create the product video, or if you want, you can create it yourself, like with an iPhone.
It does look like green paint, not matcha, but you know, I guess because I'm staring at it.
Sherwin-Williams' new matcha brand.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, it's not perfect, but I also think that like we're looking at it like surgically, but the average person just swiping in their brain rotted frame of mind is probably not like it looks like paint.
Yeah, they're just a fat pig in a cage just saying, I want to buy stuff, you know?
I want to buy stuff.
Yeah.
And what's an account like this worth if you're just like reviewing matcha brands and you have thousands of followers? Like, yeah, like that's probably worth a lot of money.
Dude, this stuff, whenever I see it, so the capitalistic side is like, this is awesome. And then I find myself slowly like becoming a socialist, and I'm thinking, oh my God, we're just a bunch of Palantirs in our house just watching us, and we're just buying dumb stuff from AI ads. Okay, that's interesting though. Regardless if I make fun of it, I think it's kind of cool. What's another cool one?
Okay, this one is also you're gonna hate this, I think, also, but
sign me up.
This is not just for you. It's for people looking for jobs. So there's this thing called AI Apply, and if you go to the website, you could, let's say you're looking for a job, you can literally apply to thousands of jobs automatically via AI.
That's crazy, man. This is absolutely crazy.
It also has this cool thing. There's like an interview buddy, so it helps you like get real-time interview help and answer interview questions. It helps you build in resume. It helps you build a cover letter. And obviously the core feature is the auto apply thing. Now, why I like this is I get my feel in our little tech bubble that like the economy is good and everything like that. People are suffering right now, and it's really hard to find a job. Any way that you can find an unfair advantage to get in the room, I support. It does suck for the HR managers and the people at the companies getting all these AI applications. I will say that though.
That is insane, man. I hate this, but I get the need. It says that it's loved by 1 million users. So 1 million people use this?
1 million people have used this. I actually tweeted like, what are some underrated apps? And the CMO replied with this. And some guy was like, yeah, but if you're the company getting these, this sucks. And he responded saying, like, the next version of the product is helping companies filter out AI applications.
This is like if Nestle like owned the hospital. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, we're going to fatten you up and then give you a bunch of medicine to make you skinny, and then we're going to fatten you up again.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it's probably going to be a great business. But I think that like and I'm always looking for like the arbitrage opportunity.
And I get the money-making perspective. And I think that if you haven't made your first dollar and you're looking to do something, then this is the future. And I, like my business that made me money was a newsletter that had advertising in it. So I am no one to talk about any of this, but sometimes I see this stuff. I do get pretty bummed out where I think, and I think this will always happen. I think the people who are older will always look at the younger people and being like, back in my day, like we cared about our jobs, or we were more craftsmen. So I'm going to preface all of that with that. But does any of this make you feel bad?
Yeah. So, this podcast is called My First Million. So if someone is trying to go from $0 to $1 million, like these are the tools that anyone could use, and there's no capital restrictions, and you don't need to be in Silicon Valley to win. So I think that, if I'm trying to make $1 million, like these are the tools that I'm using to make $1 million. I grew up with no connections and, not a ton of money and stuff like that. So like I have a soft spot for people who are starting out going 0 to 1. And, so that's who I'm focusing on, man. Like I'm focusing, like that's what I've like dedicated my career to doing, really, is helping people, being in the light bulb business and helping people have light bulbs so they can actually like change the trajectory of their life. Now, I say that with like, I don't want to go on X and Instagram and see AI slop all day long. You know what I mean? Like I love X and I love Instagram, and we have kids now, right? We don't want our families to be addicted to these products. So I do feel that. I do feel a sense of like responsibility as well.
But I do think it's interesting. I think that the generation before the internet came around, they probably said the exact same thing.
They said the same thing.
I think that the generation before the Industrial Revolution, they would say the exact same thing. So things tend to work themselves out. It's just, this is the first time in my life that I'm old enough where I'm potentially like, okay, are you getting on or are you getting off? Whereas if you're a young person, you're just born on. So there was no, are you getting on or getting off for the internet? I was born into the internet. That's just how I grew up. Whereas now I'm old enough to where I'm not default into it, and I have to like learn about it. And this is the first time I've experienced that.
Yeah. I mean, we are getting older, so, and we've seen some of these shifts, but I agree. Like, what's the difference between brain rotting on TikTok and like watching TV for 8 hours a day?
These tools are really cool. How many hours a week are you just nerding out and finding all these interesting things?
I mean, that's one of the reasons why I love the design agency, is like the design agency is working with all the top AI apps to build out this stuff. So sometimes I just sit in meetings and I'm like, teach me everything about, character AI, teach me everything about Jasper AI, teach me everything about these tools.
How many of them are you proficient in?
I spend probably 10 hours a week playing with new tools every single week. And I would say I'm proficient, like I'm, native in 10 tools, let's say.
Man, well, thank you for filling me in. I do feel it's funny. For years, I was like the young guy. I was like, the guy who my parents would ask, how do they turn their internet on or plug their TV in, because I think that I'm like a computer geek. And but I was never actually that. And now I feel like I'm even further away from like the AI epicenter, but I'm so happy that I have friends like you who can like pull me towards it a little bit and show me what's cool and not make me feel stupid by not knowing what it is. And that's kind of the value that you provided to our audience this episode. So I appreciate you doing that.
It's literally my pleasure. It's an honor to do so. And like I said, like I'm in the light bulb business. So, if you had 1 or 2 or 3 light bulbs, even if some of the stuff you saw today was like, that's a little bit cringe, I wouldn't do that. There might be a way that you can do or use some of these tools in a way that works for you. And I think that's the important part. And that's like the important takeaway. So Sam, thanks for having me on and letting me share my nerdy stuff. And I'll see you next time.
All right. That's it. That's the pod.
I feel like I can rule the world. I know I could be what I want to. I put my all in it like no days off. On the road, let's travel, never looking back.
This episode is brought to you by HubSpot Media. They have a cool new podcast that's for AI called The Next Wave. It's by Matt Wolf and Nathan Lands. And they're basically talking about all the new tools that are coming out, how the landscape is changing, what's going on with AI tech. So if you want to be up to date on AI tech, it's a cool podcast you could check out. Listen to The Next Wave wherever you get your podcasts.